There's millions of people that have fibromyalgia, mostly women, some men, I think. So, but there are over 1 million people that are dealing with this on a day-to-day basis. It's not fun having chronic pain, and especially being told that there's something wrong with your mind. So when I was told that, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go and see a psychotherapist. So I went and saw a psychotherapist, and the psychotherapist said, no, you're not making it up. I've had fibromyalgia for 30 years now. I was diagnosed back in the 1990s, which was very difficult being diagnosed back then, because then they were telling people that the illness was in your mind and that you're psychosomatic, like there's something wrong with your brain, like your thoughts, not your brain chemistry, and that you're just like making yourself sick and you're hypochondriac. So that was like the basis of having a fibromyalgia diagnosis back in the 1990s. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are probably getting this diagnosis every day. New people that haven't had it before that are having to deal with it. I talk to people that tell me that they have it and they're much younger than me, and I feel sad for them because it's not an easy thing to deal with. I've tried to deal with it as best as I could throughout my life, throughout the past 30 years, but it's made my life very difficult. Because I have a chronic pain condition and it's invisible to their tests, that they automatically say, okay, well, you have a psychological problem. But then after a certain point, they decided that, oh, well, we could capitalize on all these people that are coming down with this illness, and we'll just give them all antidepressants, so that'll give us a whole new market for antidepressants. And they gave me antidepressants, and I was like, I'll try anything if it's gonna help, So I tried it, and I really didn't like being on it. After about a week, I was like, I'm not taking this. This is like making my brain feel like marshmallow fluff, so I don't want to deal with this. So and I wasn't like really necessarily depressed. I was just in pain. So I did have a prescription for oxycodone, and then they decided that people shouldn't be getting that, so they stopped me from having that, which actually helped. And I just took a very small amount. I would cut the pill into like quarters and just take like a quarter if I really needed it, if I was having a bad day. And it actually really helped me. And I'm not like a addictive kind of person, so for me it was actually helpful. But I know some people don't have problems with that, so that's unfortunate for them, but like everybody's not like that. But anyway, so they made it so that I couldn't take that either. And so I don't know what they weren't really, they were like telling me I was nuts, and then they were telling me that I couldn't have pain medicine. And so it's like, it made my life really like difficult, I mean, I'm not gonna exaggerate, but it's like it made my life really difficult dealing with all these things. So then I found Kratom, right? So Kratom was a godsend to me. It made it so that I could actually function and earn a living and go out and work, and it has its limitations, which maybe I'll do another video on. But Kratom was a godsend. But then they, like in the state that I live in, they were trying to pass a law to make it illegal, because I live in a state that's like kind of run by pharmaceutical companies. So I just wanted to give people encouragement. It's not easy dealing with this. It's made my life very difficult. It's very hard to have a social life when you have a chronic pain condition that you don't know how you're going to feel on any given day. I just try to take it a day at a time, and I try to make sure I go out for a walk every day, which is really helpful for me to walk around outside. And even if it's cold or the weather's bad, I'll just dress warm and put on extra clothes and things like that, but everybody lives in different environments. But I happen to like this gray weather, and I lived in a place where it wasn't gray. I missed it, so I don't, I like the there's like snow and stuff, and it is cold. It's not windy today, fortunately, but it is cold, so I'm dressed warm, and you know, just for my mental health and to get exercise. You know, I can't really do, like, I can't really push myself too hard on doing exercise, because then I'll just like get really, you know, drained of all energy, and I have to sleep. I did some physical therapy, and when I first started it, I had to sleep for like 14 hours afterwards, because it was like, I'm not used to doing it. But I'm trying to keep it up, you know, because it is making it so that my joints are less painful. I think it changes over time too, because like when I first had it, I was younger, and I had like very bad menstrual problems. I had issues with being able to have sex, which is unfortunate, and they don't really tell you about that, and that will wreck your relationship if you have a relationship, not being able to have sex. But then I found out many years later that you can get pelvic floor therapy, which was very helpful for that. So many of you ladies out there, I hope that helps, because there is pelvic floor therapy, which greatly helps with having any kind of difficulties with having a sex life. It's the reality, you know. We have you know, menstrual periods. I mean, I'm sure people give birth, so they have different issues with that, which that's not something I've had to deal with. So if you're a lady, please go and try to find some sort of pelvic floor therapy if you're having difficulties. You know, then there's certain other problems I've had, but I just want to give people some sort of encouragement that I've been living with this for 30 years. It hasn't been easy. You know, there's times where I really was at my wit's end, and it's unfortunate, and there was very little support and very little understanding, and you can get through it, and hopefully, you know, in time, with all the technology that's becoming available to people now, that they'll find a way to mitigate it a bit, you know. But I'm just saying that the top things that I do: light exercise, eat really well, try to get sleep. Sleep has been a really difficult issue for me, because I tend to like to stay up late. If you can get sleep and have like a sleep schedule, that'll be good. It hasn't been the case for me, because I'm a night owl, you know, just by nature. And then the fibromyalgia actually made that a lot worse. I had really bad insomnia when I first was diagnosed. So that's horrible, having insomnia and not being able to sleep. Another thing that's been really good for me is I have followed Robert Monroe for a long time, and he invented this thing called hemi-sync. And so the meditations are available. People always post them on there for free, so you can listen to them actually for free, some of them. But I did the whole gateway thing, which was fantastic, and it's helped me a lot. So I do that. If I'm in a lot of pain, I'll just put the headphones on and go in a dark room, and just like listen to the audio, and it's sort of like meditation. I'm very familiar with like meditation, so meditation is a really good thing to do if you're like feeling in pain and it's like really getting to you. Like, look up Robert Monroe, look up hemi-sync, and try that, you know, because that was fantastic. That really helped me out a lot. I've tried to deal with it as best as I could throughout my life, throughout the past 30 years, but it's made my life very difficult, because I've had to take a type of job that would be conducive to dealing with not feeling well on a day-to-day basis, and not feeling well and not knowing if I'm, you know, like when you're sick with something and you don't know that you're sick, you're gonna be like not feeling well in a week from now. You may have like a excruciating migraine, or very bad menstrual cramps, or, you know, any number of things that make your life miserable, and you can't really plan for that. So how are you supposed to have a job? You know, it's really hard to have like any kind of career or job that has, so that you can you know that, yes, I'm gonna be on time for the next like 6 months or however long, you know, so that you can maintain having a job. You know, I like to work. I don't like sitting around like not. I like being functional and you know, in the society and doing things. So that's like probably been the hardest thing, is not being able to pursue a career and not being able to use my intelligence for doing things. So then I have to get like menial jobs that people look down on me for, and it's not as if I've always had that. You know, I've had prestigious jobs where people, you know, were like, oh, you do that for a living? So, you know, it's like, you know, when people say, oh yeah, I do ride sharing, you know, because that's what I can deal with. Being able to do like these kind of gig work has been a blessing to me, because then it gives me the ability to, you know, not work if I don't feel good, and I'm not going to lose my job. So that's been really good about that. But, you know, it is sort of like, you know, it's not very prestigious, and people kind of look down on me because of that. So it's just hard. It's hard to have a social life dealing with this, you know, because you make plans to go and visit someone or see your friend, and it's just such a huge expenditure of energy that, you know, it's just really difficult. And the thing is that people don't understand, because you look like you're okay and nothing's wrong with you. You don't look like emaciated or really sick or anything. So people think, oh, I don't look like there's anything wrong with you, so why are you like acting like that? You must be crazy. And then, you know, and also people don't want to deal with it. People don't want to deal with people who have illness and stuff, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So fortunately for me, I'm kind of an introvert, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But, you know, sometimes I feel isolated, and I'm like getting older and stuff, so it's nice to have a social life and stuff. But I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm putting these videos out there. I just want to say, you know, don't feel like you're alone out there and suffering and with this horrible illness. It's really horrible. So, you know, especially because people don't want to give you any sort of credibility about it. That's you know, so there's like psychological ramifications as well as physical, and you know, that's unfortunate. So. All right, well, if you'd like, you know, send me a message, write something in the comments, you know, and you can subscribe. I'm going to try to keep putting these videos out there, and like not necessarily focus on this one that's like happening like right over my head. It's sort of hard to keep your train of thought when you got like these planes flying. But like I say, sometimes you just have to have a sense of humor about things, even your own physicality. See, there's another one coming. I mean, how do you think with that noise going on over your head all the time? I don't see it. But it's like right over my head. I can't see it.